Humor, haunts, and homicide.
Hey, bitch! Oh my god, episode 10, season finale!
Season finale, episode 10.
I didn't know about this jingle prior to this episode.
I create them on the spot.
That was great.
It's a talent.
That flowed nicely.
Like
your mom.
Hey!
Got her. Okay,
Got
sorry about that one there. I just feel like when you got it, you got it. You know?
You need to. You got it.
That one just, it was like it had to come out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Kind of like me. I just had to come out one day.
You really did.
Oh my gosh. We have so much to unpack this week.
We do. First things first, we're recording on a different day and time.
It feels weird, but it's not at the same time.
I mean, whatever. We're awesome. So
It's dark.
We can adapt.
That's maybe the difference.
Yeah, we had to record on Friday night because, like...
Your mom with lots of things going on.
Yeah, I am. And there's like a lot of... Well, number one, it's Easter weekend. But more importantly, it's Audrey's birthday weekend. And she is turning 13 in like 2 days. And I'm freaking out about it. Because she's like the baby of the family. So...
It's crazy to think, like, when we came into each other's lives, how old was she?
I mean, how long have you been with Dylan?
Oh, shit. What is it? Almost 6 years?
6 years. So, I mean, shit, she would have been like 7.
That's insane to
That's
think
a lot of difference. That's like a
know.
lot of difference.
In kids' behavioral years, that's a crazy.
Yeah.
That's a good development years.
So we're having like family over. She has a friend over. Brett has a friend over. Bryce is obviously there too. It's a full house all weekend long.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to watch everybody go down the slide.
I'm going to go down the slide. Are you going to go down the slide?
Fuck no. Do you really want to see Shamu down a slide?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I'm sorry. You're not getting your free admission to the zoo this time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fine.
But I will absolutely watch you guys have fun because that brings me joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Betty back.
You did?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
My whip.
Yeah, your boo.
Yeah. I got her back Monday.
Did you insert your new gifts to yourself?
I did.
Oh.
So I got new car. Whoa.
What's a car?
I don't know what was
Is that a new
out
like
there.
caterpillar
Wow.
fish?
I got a new car coasters. And one of them says, "In Taylor we trust."
In Taylor we trust.
And the other one is a picture of Taylor as like the Virgin Mary, I think. I don't know if it's the Virgin Mary, some kind of saint. It's amazing and I love it.
All right.
It's like Saint Taylor.
Saint Taylor.
Amen. I'm here for it.
Amen.
But even better, my work surprised me and they customized Betty.
What'd they do to her?
Okay, so she is a GMC Terrain, and the two Terrain logos on the front and the back that are red, I don't know what they did. They took them apart and made them black and purple.
Hell yeah.
And it looks awesome. They also painted a chrome thing black, which I already have black emblems, like the Terrain emblems and my wheels are black.
Okay.
So basically she looks like a bad bitch.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked on it.
Was it like The Price is Right? They rolled it out and was like, look at your new car.
Well, they were like, hey, I want you to go like take a look at your car, make sure it looks good. And, he was like make sure you look all the way around it,
Okay.
And I look at it and I'm like, at first I thought they were black because it's like a dark purple. It's not like this like electric purple that jumps out at you. So I look at it and I thought it was black. And then I'm like, wait a fucking second. Like that shit's purple.
That's really cool.
It looks so cool.
I can't imagine my job bringing me my car back in full Scarlet Witch gear. Man, that would be a dream come true.
I work at I did think I did mention I do work at a body shop.
Yeah,
So
you mentioned it.
But the next day, something was going on. Like she was leaking washer fluid. So, they had to like fix something and, something with there was like a sensor and something was going down.
She was crying.
Well, the technician backed her into the body shop and backed her into a trailer hitch for another vehicle.
Bitch, she was crying. She knew it was coming.
So now she has to get a new like little textured lower bumper. I will say that that bumper had like, from when I bought it, before I bought it, there was like little imperfections in it. And now I'm getting a brand new one. So
I guess the brighter side to this.
It's just, but now she's got a little, she's not 100%, but she looks great with her new purple logo. She's awesome.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Well, congratulations on your new upgrade paint job.
Thank you.
That's really cool. What else you got going on?
I finished the audiobook Signs.
Okay, you did?
I did finish
Okay,
it.
so tell me everything you learned.
Well, I don't know that there's necessarily more that I learned.
Okay.
From the last one, but again, I will just... Oh, I do need to tell you that the author's name is Laura Lynn Jackson, because I totally bombed on that.
What did you say last time?
I couldn't even remember. So her name is Laura Lynn Jackson, and the book is Signs. And basically, to reiterate, she lets us know that there is signs in everything. Everything's a sign. So everything has a meaning. Our loved ones are here with us, but not with us at the same time.
Yes.
They're in another room.
Right.
Because I know you were concerned. I was listening to our episode back about our loved ones, when we die, are they just going to be watching people they don't know? No, we go with them. So we're always with everyone. So
first of all, I'm glad that you've upgraded your ability to listen to our podcast in voice. Because that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah, and I actually enjoy it. I thought that I was going to not be able to handle it, but we're funny. So.
I think we've gotten just better. I mean, we're on our first season ending here. And I think it would be silly if we hadn't added improvements throughout the season, doing it as our first podcast and all. But, I do want to piggyback off of your kind of book that you read there.
Yeah.
So for the listeners and people that follow us on social media, I'd put a little bit of a video out there of a cardinal that was, in my opinion at first, harassing the shit out of me at work. I had immediately parked and I heard this tap, tap, tap on the back of my windshield, and I would look behind me and there's a fucking cardinal just tapping its beak. And I'm like, oh shit. And then it jumps on the roof of the car and you hear its little fucking feet just like a fucking raptor in Jurassic Park.
It was really pretty. It was a vibrant red too. It really was.
It's beautiful. And then it jumped on the passenger side of the car and it got on the mirror and it did the beak thing again where it just tap, 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 tap. And then I was, of course, kind of freaked out because I know last episode you did mention there was a little cardinal as a sign. However, when you're in a zone and you're having you gotta remember every single detail. So I didn't remember, but you brought it to my attention and I remembered immediately that, that's what you said. But I didn't know until I listened to the podcast. So anywho, what I'm getting at is that I think it could be somebody potentially out there trying to reach my attention.
I mean... I will say that I have never seen a cardinal behave like that aggressively.
It was crazy.
And I don't mean in a bad way, but just it was trying. I feel like it was trying to get your attention.
Well, even weirder to
and I feel more so after listening to this book. I'm sure of it. So.
Well, it gets weirder because I already talked to you about it, but the listeners don't know. But the same moment, after it jumped to the mirror on the passenger side, I was like, okay, I got to get to work. And I don't want this thing to attack me. If it's aggressive, I don't know.
Well, yeah.
So I drive around the parking lot at work and I park back in a different spot on the other side of the parking lot. And it immediately does it again. It jumps on the car, gets to the back, and goes to the right side. And then I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I just got my bag. I kind of put it to the side of my head and I ran to the building. I come back out for lunch and there was bird shit all over my car. Like a goddamn pterodactyl got a hold of it. And then I look up at the tree and there it is again, just staring at me. And then it flies a little bit closer. It goes to the ground and jumps. And then it moves around the right side of the car. And then I'm like, what the hell? Well, a couple days go by and I go back to the same place today because I'm at different training branches, going around to the district and training with different managers and whatnot. And I'm back at this branch where it happened. I think it was 3 days go by. And the bird was there again. This time it was on someone else's truck. And I'm thinking I'm special, right? So I go, I'm like, oh, this bitch is harassing someone else. Okay, that's cool. I'm not special. I go into the bank I'm, at, and I ask the team there, I'm like, so... have you had any experience with this weird cardinal out there? And they're like, oh yeah, every day that thing's harassing somebody. I'm like, oh cool, it's cheating on me. All right. So I don't know exactly who this bitch is.
Well, but we then discussed and maybe if listeners want to like weigh in, do you think that the cardinal can morph? Meaning, can it be a different person for each meaning? Okay, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Okay, so like for you, it might be your grandma. You know?
Is it like almost like possession where it can jump and
so
maybe...
is it like your grandma when it's, you know, but like, you know, today when it was harassing that truck, maybe it was his mother. You know what I mean? Like, so that
makes sense because according to the book and just what other people say in their experiences that I've seen out there, they can get different signs from different places and they come in different forms.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just that form and the energy of that spirit is able to take on that form temporarily and periodically, and they're able to then leave at will.
It's fascinating.
I know. It's crazy. So who knows? But I'm really excited to see that bird again. I wanted to go out and get it to jump to my hand after I was like, go away, no, come back. It was like that Pink song, go away, come back. Yeah.
Could you imagine if it had like flown in your hand? That'd be crazy.
That would have been amazing. But maybe, I mean, I'll be back there again. Okay. So we'll see. Stay tuned. And man, I'm trying to think what else is going on. So it is Bay Day.
It is Bay Day.
It is Bay Day.
It's the 29th of March.
I'm wearing my shirt.
Yeah, I'm not. But Cowboy Carter came out.
Yeah.
I've listened to it about 5 times today.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, I will say not like loud and proud 5 times. I do work. So I just had it on in the background. So I probably like 3 of the times was at work in the background.
I'm going to say something.
I know what you're going to say.
Don't be angry with me.
I'm not angry.
We know
that's not the word.
I mean, you need to calm down, basically. Okay.
You're being too loud.
You're getting ridiculous. Yeah, so I don't like the album that much. I don't. I like maybe 6 to 7 songs, and after that, you lose me. It's just, for me, it doesn't feel like her, at least what we know, at least, and it just, the tunes, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel genuine Beyonce to me, and that's fine. You can experiment with different things. She's allowed to. Yeah. And I'm going to love her, and I'm listening, you know, but it's just not my favorite.
I mean, it's definitely not my favorite of her, but I think it's fantastic. I think it's very good, and not just like very good, like I like it. I think it's very well done.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
I mean, everything she does is well thought out and well marketed, and it's brilliant. So I'm going to give her that, but it's just not my type of music anyway, okay. I think. And I was really just listening to it for her and because she was writing it. And for me, it just didn't like wow me enough to really want to keep listening. That's it.
Well, and I mean, in fairness, you have a more
gay club-esque.
Yes. Well, I just mean like you're more like you have a style that you listen to, whereas I listen to kind of everything. Mm-hmm. So I think like maybe I'm more receptive to different. You know, I mean, I'm fine with any kind of genre. I'm fine with somebody playing in genres. I mean, my current obsession is Taylor Swift. I mean, nobody switches genres more than she does. So I love it. I love it. So yeah. Love it. What is your favorite song on it?
Spaghetti. Okay. And the one with Miley Cyrus, I don't remember the name of it. Oh. But I loved it. 2 Most Wanted. I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah. I like those. I think my current favorite is Ya Ya. I don't remember that one. It's good. Okay. I'll go back and... I really, honestly, I believe that you will like this one. Okay. I can't imagine you won't. I'll go back and peek at it. But, but yeah, so we love her. We love Bay. Oh, yeah. But there was one thing I forgot to talk about earlier when we were talking about podcasts, now that it's on my mind, before I forget again. Last week, I had mentioned a podcast to you about Stephen King. Yes. And I found the name of it because I totally forgot. It's Strawberry Spring. Strawberry Spring. And it is 13 episodes, and it is an hour long, and it's absolutely fantastic and gripping. And the voice actor that does it was able to really enunciate differently and up and down and all around. Right. And you just feel like you're in the story. It's really great. The Stephen King book I read, I enjoyed the person who read it also. Like they did a good job picking this one. So is this available on is it like an Audible thing or is it? No, I did it on Amazon Podcast. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. It's a podcast you can get anywhere. Okay. Oh, good to know. Yeah. Add that to my queue. Freebie. I know. So you had an interesting friend get together the other night. Oh yeah, I did. And I've already got permission to really talk about this, but You guys know our friend Tiffany. She was a guest on one of our episodes. I believe it was the Queen Mary episode 6.
Yeah, so she was talking about her book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic author and friend of ours. She invited us over for a game night, and love game night. Love her boyfriend and partner. And I was like, absolutely, we'll be there.
I love
we show up,
night.
and everyone's great. Everyone's fantastic. And somehow we start playing one game, and it started off really well. It was a fishbowl game. Somewhere along the way, we got on some deep emotions, and like that we were doing couple sections of like, how do you know this person? How do you know the other person? Tell me your story and your perception. Now you tell me your story and the other one's perception. Now, how do you feel to get, like, it was very much like, it almost felt interrogative, but I will say I have an open mind. Some people can and some people can't handle that. It wasn't exactly how I would have started a party. However, I would say that I think we were all adults and we had the ability to stop it at any time if we really wanted to. And it was going well. Like, there was a lot of good conversation and a lot of good advice between each other. So it wasn't all bad, and there was a lot of good takeaways. And ultimately, would I do that every single party? No, but it wasn't intentional. That wasn't what they wanted initially either.
So like some kind of group therapy type session?
It was very much. It was like a couple hours long too. Yeah,
that sounds like it's going to be a huge no from me, dog.
And again, it's not for everybody. Not everybody can do it. And I was actually very surprised for Dylan, who's usually a little more emotionally reserved. He was actually very open to it. And the fact that he was talking and expressing himself, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, maybe, okay, cool. So this is cool for him. So I'll partake a little bit, And then
I might have pulled an Irish goodbye on that one. I might have just been like, I might have went to the bathroom and never came back.
Oh my God, you would. I know that. That's actually pretty funny you say that. I'm trying to think what else is going on. Oh, have you ever heard of AMC's Screen Unseen or Scream Unseen?
Well, only because you told me about it.
But before that, did you know?
No, absolutely not.
So for all of you out there that don't know, the AMC in certain markets and certain test states and stuff, they choose certain movies to put out there, and they give you very limited details. So, for example, the one that I had found was in our AMC Stubs app, because we're huge movie goers, my husband and I, and we like to go to the movies at least 3 times a week when we're really finding movies we like. And it's only like $25 a month. So for us, it's worth it because 1.5 movies and you've already paid for it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we signed up, and it was a Scream Unseen. So it was a horror movie, and it was rated R.
You actually didn't tell me about this.
Yeah.
About you told me you were going, but you didn't tell me
Well, here we are. I'm going to give you the scoop.
Okay, so.
And then we get there, and we find out it's an hour and 45 minutes long. We don't even know at that point when we get the tickets what the movie is until it actually starts the movie, after trailers and everything.
Huh.
So the whole time I'm like, oh my God, what are we watching?
Does it hold up the title of the movie?
No, not unless the movie itself shows it in the beginning, and most movies do.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And if not, so I'm not in a Reddit group, but I ended up finding a Reddit thread that's what do you call it? It's public. So anyone can just see it without being interactive in it. And people are interacting, and oh my God, what do you speculate this one's going to be? And it's a pretty big following. Okay. So I thought, just peeking in there, and I looked at the past movies they've done, and based on the trends they have. So what they do is they put out a test movie that's coming out soon, and they want to gauge the audience reaction to see if they need to make any quick edits or what the reception is, if it's going to do well. And if it does do well in that test market, like this is, then they release it a little further out nationwide. So they also get to go on Instagram and put your review on there with a comment and a picture, and then they put you in a drawing for a little prize pack.
I love prizes.
Me too. So when my parents come in town in a few weeks, I've got one signed up for them. It's a PG-13 movie. I don't know what the fuck genre it's going to be. Who knows? That's fun. It could be sci-fi. It could be romantic.
Are you allowed to say anything about this movie? Or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Sting.
Okay.
And it was a horror movie. It was an Australian flick, but they all spoke English. They're great to flick that right into an English accent for us Americans, but they did a great job. I don't know if they were actually American or not, but anyway, it was great. And it was about a big spider. And
oh, wait, you mean they were talking in American accents?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was
that confusing?
Yeah, because you said they were speaking English, and I'm going,
there is a lot of variants of English. I didn't say the wrong thing. It was just I didn't clarify.
Okay.
My bad. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was good. It started off weird because they don't really explain to you. So initially, there is a news broadcast in the beginning that kind of is going, okay, so there's a big freeze over in the weather, and it's caused by these cosmics. something going on in the universe, and then there was these comets that crashed, and next thing you know, there's something flying through a window of an attic somewhere, and then there is a spider that this little girl finds, puts it in a jar, locks it up, and then she finds weird cockroaches in her room all of a sudden, and she starts throwing them in a jar, realizing after a few cockroaches, this thing starts getting bigger out of nowhere, and she doesn't say anything to her parents, and she's very defiant. She's like weirdly obsessed with the spider, and then the spider ends up breaking out of the jar and just fucking starts killing everyone and everything. And then, but I will say the character build up and the way that they developed the characters was actually really good. And I think that's what I liked about it the most. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been interested in a giant alien spider. But they actually didn't explain that it was an alien spider. It just made you believe that it was.
Okay.
It was weird.
Cool.
But it was cool. I mean, it was worth the $5 I would have spent if I didn't have the pass.
Right.
Yeah. I'd do it again.
Okay,
I'm going to do it again.
Oh,
So.
there you go.
Yeah.
I might have to join you.
You please do. Oh, man. What else? Oh, gosh. I feel like I've got a lot of updates for us.
You do. I mean, go on, King.
Oh, man. So, in families, we all have our certain stuff out there. And I'm not going to get too detailed without, being insensitive to people. But there is some family drama going on between a lot of different people. And it's stemming out of one person really secluding themselves and making sure that they have really iced everybody out. And it's got everybody worried. There's a lot of weird erratic behavior and a lot of weird erratic text messages, and without really any explanation or any want or showing of wanting any resolution. And nobody has any answers as to what's really wrong in the first place. So, it's really kind of torn the family apart because we all love and care about this person very much so. But,
right.
So we're kind of working through that right now and trying to figure out how to get that person help. And I will say what I've learned through this, though, and trying to be a new me this year, is that, the old me would have held on to some animosity. I would have just let this build up. I wouldn't have talked about it. I would have gotten angry about it. But I'm not really wanting to hold on to that shit anymore. So I'm just letting it go. I can't hold on. I can't bear that. I can't hold on to that. I'm really trying to focus on me and my husband and my career and my weight loss journey and my amazing podcast with my amazing partner. And I know, I'm just having a really good year and I'm really just thriving right now. And I can't let anything get me down.
Well, good. I love it.
Yeah. So I think the moral of the story is, talk through your shit. Don't hold on to anything. Fix it if you can, but recognize where your boundaries need to be and don't let anybody treat you less than you deserve.
100%.
And that's really it.
100%.
That's my moral of the story. That's my heartfelt moment.
I love it. Well, yeah. We're gonna get less deep.
Okay. I like that.
But more frigid.
Yeah. Boom.
Hey.
Drop it.
And I'm gonna read our Mad Lib
like
of the week.
It's hot. Okay, read it. Please do.
I like that.
What's it called?
This one is called "If You Can't Brand Yourself."
Then how the hell are you gonna brand somebody else? Can I get a brand man?
Brand man. Okay. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
So ready.
If you want to be America's next drag superstar, you're going to need extensive branding and marketing skills.
Yeah, we will.
RuPaul herself is famous for selling her sisters from numerous albums, including her breakthrough debut, Lovely, Model of the World, Foxy Lady, Violet Hot, Champion, Glamazon, Slurped Naked, and Realness, to books including Floating It, RuPaul's Guide to Life, Nurse and the Pursuit of Style, and Letting It All Die Out, an auto broadcast. But it doesn't stop there. The franchise Runiverse also includes Glamazon Pasties,
yes.
A RuPaul candy bar made with peanut popcorn and sea salt, a special RuPaul Collector's Edition Sperm Bank.
Ooh, yeah.
Not mine. A special Glamazon fragrance with hints of Oprah.
Oh, yeah.
Lavender and magnet.
You get a lavender, you get a magnet. You like that?
Oh, shit. And this very dazzling RuPaul's Drag Race fragrant lips. So think about your own charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and puppy. And figure out how to best cook your talents to your flashy fans.
Yes, bitch.
Yes.
Snaps up for that. Oh, my God. What is next? Oh, would you guys like a good old bad autocorrect?
I would.
I love a good bad autocorrect.
So I don't know about you guys, but we do, and we're going to do one.
We're going to go ahead and do that for you.
I'll just go. I'll start it. I'll start off.
Yeah,
okay.
you go ahead.
I am at Home Depot. Do you need more paint?
Yes, I need prob 2 more gallons.
What is the color? I forgot name.
BHR 77087 chocolate shark.
I just asked for that, and the guy laughed at me for 5 minutes.
Oh my god, it's chocolate sparkle. I am LMFAO. Sorry. Can you imagine?
I just cold read that, so that was like actually a legit reaction.
Oh
wow.
my God.
He read it out. You would read that out loud to the person? Come on.
Hi, do you have Bear 7708 chocolate shark color?
I mean, hello.
Oh my God.
Okay, you start.
All right. We're playing Trivial Pursuit, and your father just threw his dick all the way across the room.
Whoa, intense game, Mom.
Dice. He threw his dice across the room, and it nearly knocked my fuckiest over.
What?
Fuchsias. I'm going to give this phone away, I think.
Wow. All right. What?
Oh my gosh.
Man.
But you know what really ties well in with bad autocorrects?
What the Florida?
How about this one?
How about it?
Florida man's joyride in stolen ambulance ends at sheriff's office.
Nice.
Yes, and this is from the WFLA article that I've been using. This Florida man led deputies on a chase that ended at their front door. A Columbia County deputy was assisting paramedics with a man, quote, experiencing an altered mental state and possibly under the influence of drugs. According to the sheriff's office, the patient climbed into the front of the ambulance and sped off. The ambulance eventually drove onto the front lawn of the sheriff's office operations center, bringing a chase to an end. Deputies did not have to go too far to book the suspect into jail. Oh my God.
I would guess not.
All right, you want to get the next one to go?
I will. Okay. Beer belly wrestling, evading arrest obstacle course on tap for inaugural Florida Man Games.
Oh, shit.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it does.
Although this is not about a specific Florida man, the viral phenomenon has inspired what promises to be the most insane athletic showdown on Earth.
Oh, shit.
Contestants.
Use that in your daily life.
Okay, the article hasn't... The article confused me. Okay, you know what? I'm going to start over there.
Uh-oh.
Contests in the inaugural Florida Man Games include beer belly wrestling and an evading arrest obstacle course in which contestants jump over fences and through yards while being chased by real police officers, according to the organizers. The competition is planned for next February in St. Augustine, Florida.
Oh my God. That's oh yeah.
Don't sign me up, but I would like to be a spectator.
Yeah.
That would be really fun.
Let's get some Florida stuff going on there. You can't get more Florida than that, though.
You really can't. Wow.
Really should.
Well, that concludes this segment of
What the Florida? I feel like we change that every time, but it's great every time.
It can be different.
It can.
Where you can do what we
That's
want. It's our
fine.
podcast.
Well, it is our podcast, and I'm excited that we like to keep it fresh for all the fresh listeners out there.
Fun and fresh.
Fun and fresh. But hey, I got a story for you this week.
Do you?
I do, and unfortunately, I like to spoil surprises, so everybody already knows what it is. However, there's a lot more to the story because we were there.
We were there.
We got to experience the awesome time that was the May Stringer house.
I loved it there.
I did too.
And they do ghost tours.
Which I need to do, but they're kind of pricey a little bit. $60, I think. I mean, I guess that's really not that bad.
It's not that bad.
No.
We should just do it.
We should. We have a lot of things we need to do. Like Don Cesar.
We want to do everything.
We need to go to the
We want to go everywhere. We want to go to Egypt. We're trying to go to Australia. We're trying to go the Queen Mary.
Yeah, Madame Laurie's place.
Wait, where's Queen Mary in like California?
It is in California.
So basically, we need to be funded.
Yeah. What else? Oh, we needed to find out about the Chuck Morgan case, so we need to go visit that in Arizona.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, great.
We're just taking a little memory lane stroll down our season. You know, I don't want to cry, but like, man, we've done like a lot of cool stories.
If you start crying, I'm going to be a sobbing disaster.
Gosh. But we've done a lot though, right? I mean, we've covered so many good gripping tales, at least for us, I feel like. They're gripping. But we've also grown. Like I've even listened back to the first episode where we were like nervous and like we had to take Xanax to figure out like, you know, what we were doing. And we like had a little tiny scratch paper, which we still do for our planning, but it was much more rough than it is now. And you know, it's
very smoother.
It's very smoother.
It's very smoother. Whatever.
I guess that wasn't smoother. But, You tried, and I appreciate the effort.
It was perfect.
It was perfect. He landed it well. But yeah, I'm going to go right back to that story, because otherwise I can get lost on a rabbit hole of the whole season for the rest of our episodes. So, all right. So let's see. What was your experience with the mace stringer? Like when you walked up, what did you get out of this?
Well, immediately, like, I think the house is gorgeous. So you immediately, like, you just see it. You could tell that it has history. It just kind of looks like it has a creepy vibe. I mean, like the shingles are kind of peeling, the paint's peeling. But it's one of those kind of houses, and of course we'll add pictures and things, but where it has like the porch with the fence or the little railing around. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I love it.
You can almost visualize the way that they would live and enjoy their home and how the town might have looked. I don't know if you do that weirdly, but I do.
Absolutely. And there were like a couple cool little things where they were like, I mean, the house where it stands now wasn't the original house.
Yes.
So when they were like telling us like the original house was just like these 4 rooms, you could kind of like picture it without the addition being on.
Yes.
There was a lot of really cool things that we learned, like ways that they would kind of be able to save on taxes, like having the stairs were like outside of the house,
which was very interesting.
So like they didn't you don't have to pay taxes somehow. And then like the chimney thing where it was like they made 4 fireplaces into one.
Yes.
Because you were only taxed based on each chimney or something. So there was a lot of really cool like
workarounds
things like that. Yeah.
I would call it tax MacGyver, if you will. They just really found a way to get around it. This Dr. Stringer guy, he was really great.
Yeah. So there was like a lot of cool little things like that.
We got to go into his little office.
The office was
where
nuts.
all the magic happened.
The office was nuts.
Which is that what they considered the whispering room?
I don't know.
Because I don't know that they actually coined it that room, but like that's part of the story we're going to talk about. But I never really remembered looking, and I forgot to ask them on the tour, stupid me, which one was the whispering room.
Well, the good news is that we're very close to the Mace Stringer house.
We could go back anytime.
And it's very inexpensive to do a tour, so we could go back. So
and I just bought EMF meters, and we're going to
let's go
use our camcorder next time because Dylan pulled out the vault and got his old camera, and I wouldn't say old, it's not super old, but it works great. And we're gonna try to get some footage of whatever we do wherever we go, so let's do that.
I'm stoked.
Yeah. All right, guys, so that is our experience with the Mace Stringer house. I will also say that the memory garden is kind of creepy.
Oh yeah,
the little walk back there. Also, I never understood if the gravestones that we were looking at were real or not, because it wasn't the real house.
I wasn't 100% sure. Well, it is. It's not the real. Well,
it was I don't know, because we didn't find the Dr. Stringer's grave.
True. Here's the thing: is I believe that the gravestones are real gravestones.
Yes.
But the question is that where the bodies are buried?
It said that they are. That's why I was confused.
But they'd have to be like all on top of each other, which would be even...
Maybe they were cremated and maybe they were put into little urns or something.
I didn't think about that.
And, they just put them next to each other as memory.
Oh, that's possible.
Maybe that's why they were so close. And
we're going to have to find out more.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have to do like a more in-depth tour.
Because even the sources I had aren't really clear on that. I mean, it is a very old home and there's a very... I don't know how they say this. When you walk in, there's still wallpapers all over the place that are still peeled from the original structure, and it's really creepy.
Especially the baby's room.
Oh my God, the baby's room.
Because the baby's room had all of that wallpaper, and then like the whatever was behind the wallpaper, and then the doll.
And the picture of Jessie Mae before you get into the room of her dead in that casket. Remember with the flowers?
Oh yeah,
that was her room. So that's why they put it right there in the corner of the wall.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
The excessive amount of creepy baby dolls was...
And I didn't feel anything creepy. Like, when you walk in, yes, you feel terrified, but then you also feel at peace because there's so many people walking in.
Yeah, I think that's why. It was during the middle of the day. There's so many people there. I think it's going to have a different experience if we go back and do the night one.
Yeah, because, everything happens at night.
So we really... It's
add it to the list of things we're doing.
Time is of the essence. Well, this is at least local, so we don't have to... It's not like we got to... buy plane tickets and get hotel rooms.
That's right. Spend all of our money, all of our podcast earnings that we don't have yet.
Yeah, we've all $0 that we've earned.
So we're gonna need your help with that, listeners. Keep telling your people so we can go visit these places and give you all these great stories. Right. Thank you so much. All right, back to the fun. So the May Stringer house, that was our experience, but we're going to get a little more detailed in the history and the logistics of the entire story and why it's haunted, what's happened there, and why it's a museum now.
Let's go.
Ready?
Yeah.
Diving in. In the quaint town of Brooksville, Florida, which is very close to Renee and I, shrouded in whispers of the supernatural, stands a dilapidated terracotta and white 3-story home. Its grand Victorian architecture, although beautiful, was eclipsed by an eerie aura that captivated the imagination of townfolk. Legends swirled around this abode, tales of the restless spirits inhabiting its rooms, leaving a trail of chills and unexplainable phenomenon in their wake. The house was a testament to a bygone era, built in the late 1800s by the prominent Stringer family. My story today is voted Florida's most haunted house by Tampa Bay Times, the May Stringer house.
Ooh, I didn't know it was voted most haunted house.
Yeah.
Like in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and I think if I know that, well, it's funny because I did a little more digging on the story after I went there, seeing if there was anything I could find that I pieced together. And that was one of them that I did not know originally going in before we went to the visit. So I think maybe had I known that, I would have looked at it with different eyes. Yeah. Or just a feeling like, oh my God, I'm in the most haunted house in Florida, I wasn't really taking appreciation of it really, which I think is awesome now that we look back. But in 1842, the Armed Occupation Act, ratified by the U.S. Congress, stated, any settler who came to Florida, lived on the land for 5 years, cultivated 5 acres, and built a dwelling would be granted 160 acres. Richard Wiggins homesteaded the land where the May Stringer house is located, and this was a huge incentive for people because Florida was in the process of becoming a state at that time. By 1945, Florida was officially considered an American-owned state.
So it took that long to become a state,
it did.
I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there's a lot of wars, and especially with the Spanish and stuff, and, that were trying to take over the land. So that was finally when it got rectified. But then in 1855, John L. May purchased a property and built a 4-room home for his family. John lived in the home with his wife, Morena, and their daughters, Matilda and Annie. Unfortunately, our first piece of tragedy happens, and John dies of tuberculosis 3 years later. So he really was just the original structure builder of the home and didn't live there very long. While Morena did remain in the home throughout the Civil War and eventually married Confederate hero Frank Saxon, Frank and Morena lived happily for a few years until Morena died tragically while giving birth to the couple's child, a girl named Jessie May, in 1869. Jessie had survived her birth, but died of unknown causes 3 years later. Frank Saxon, over the next few years, remarried, built a home for his new wife, Tallulah Hope. Hope had told Saxon there was too much tragedy in the May house for her to remain there. It was around this time that the home was sold to Dr. Sheldon Stringer. In 1882, Frank Saxon sold the home and the property to Dr. Sheldon Stringer. Stringer spared no expense in creating a magnificent residence that would reflect his family's social status and prominence in the community. As a doctor in that period, you were in a very high social status class and almost by default, just being what you were.
I mean, I would imagine. That's...
Yes.
Yeah.
Dr. Stringer added 10 rooms onto the original 4-room house for a total of 14 rooms, which, I don't think that we even got to experience all that.
Well, there's an attic that we weren't allowed to go into, but you can for the night tour.
Perfect.
You can go into the attic.
Can't wait.
So I don't know if that's only 1 room or...
I don't know.
Because we're at 14 rooms. You think
we walked for a minute.
I guess there was a lot of rooms.
But I think that includes maybe the attic, like you said. It includes the kitchen. It includes the office. It includes
that little
3 separate living room, the military
thing.
room. I mean, so there's pieces all over the place. During this time as an owner of the house, Dr. Stringer ran his medical practice out of the house using pocket doors to be able to create his separation for his office from the family area of the home, which we saw immediately when we entered.
Yeah.
The house was designed by renowned architect William M. Graham, who drew inspiration from the popular Victorian style of the time. The May Stringer house is a testament to Graham's architectural prowess, as it features intricate gingerbread trim, delicate spindle work, and a grand wraparound porch that sets its visitors a step backward in time.
That's my jam right there.
That's
that
wraparound
porch. Love
beautiful.
it.
And it even creaks originally, too, which I think is even, gives that extra little spunk. The house's interior is equally impressive, boasting high ceilings, spacious rooms, and exquisite craftsmanship. The Stringer family spared no expense in furnishing their new home with the finest materials and furnishings, creating an ambiance of luxury and sophistication. The Stringers lived happily in their new home, hosting lavish parties and social gatherings that became the talk of the town. However, as we know, tragedy doesn't just strike once or twice. Tragedy struck in 1898 when John Stringer passed away unexpectedly. His wife, May, was left to raise their 4 young children alone. Despite her grief, May had demonstrated remarkable strength and resilience. She continued to manage the family's citrus business and ensure that her children received the best education as possible. May Stringer was said to be a woman of charm and elegance. May was also said to have the heart of the household, pouring her love and attention into every corner of the mansion.
Okay, I'm going to stop you real quick right there for something I think is cool.
Okay.
So it's called the May Stringer house because the first person, their last name was May, and then the last person was Stringer. But the wife's name is May, so her name is May Stringer.
I know.
I love that.
I know.
Anyway, you can continue.
Okay. As the Stringer children grew older, they left Brooksville to pursue their own lives and careers. May remained in the family home, keeping it immaculately maintained as a tribute to her beloved husband. She became a pillar of the community, known for her generosity and kindness. When May passed away in 1934, the May Stringer house was inherited by their daughter, Margaret. Margaret Stringer, like their mother, had a deep appreciation for the family's home and its historical significance. She dedicated herself to preserving the home and its contents, ensuring that the future generations could appreciate its beauty and learn about its rich history. The last Stringer to live in the home left around 1945. During this transition, there's not a lot known about what actually occurred in the home, but according to documents that I found that were actually supposedly at the May Stringer house, the building was converted into apartments a few years later, then was abandoned and damaged by the homeless, and then at some point, a new family of owners by the name of the Hensleys purchased the home with the intent of tearing down the house and turning it into a medical complex.
I'm glad they didn't do that.
I know. The founder of the Hernando Historical Association, Virginia Jackson, well, I'll say that 5 times fast. Ooh, sorry, Miss Jackson, I can't say your name.
I'm for real.
Felt that this would be a tragedy. So Jackson, wow, get it together, Josh. Pursued the Hensleys until they sold the property of the Historical Association in 1980. From there, it took many years for the local Brooksville community to restore the May Stringer house. About 17 years later, the house was then restored, opened for tours, and was placed on the National Register of Historical Places. Right. And that's basically where we're at today. And that's where the museum remains open for tours throughout most of the week with special events on holidays, the most popular being Halloween, of course, when the house is then transformed into a haunted house.
I went to it.
You did?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Not last Halloween, but the one before.
Okay.
It was great. And we should go this Halloween.
Oh my God. Do you want to give me any...
Well, it's really popular, and we had heard that. So thankfully, we got there early, and the line. Okay, so we get in the line because we start to see that this line is forming, and we get in the line, and probably 5 minutes after we got in the line was down the block. This event is huge. They have food trucks. They have little vendors. There was little.
There's not a lot of space for all that to really go on.
No,
either.
but on those grounds, trust me, they had little craft areas. There was one lady, for instance, who was selling little earrings. I bought a Jason earrings.
Oh,
they were cute little.
Okay.
Anyway, but yes, we should definitely go this Halloween.
Oh my God, I'm so excited! I can't wait. Additionally, the May Stringer house offers ghost tours regularly, just like Renee said, because she's been on one, which are usually booked for months in advance. For its normal daily tours, a tour guide will take you through the house to see some of the rooms and how they were set up similarly, how they would have been in the Stringer time.
That's what we did, the daily tour. Yeah.
And I think we want to also make noted that the things that we saw in the home were not actually artifacts of the home, as far as we saw the creepy dolls, but they weren't actually creepy dolls of Jessie May or anything.
Yes, they were just of the time.
They were of the time. They were of the testament of the time.
So the furniture wasn't...
There was even this cool stove that was from Michigan that they brought in. That really made me feel cool.
Yeah. I like is that the one that was it was a stove, a bread basket.
Yes.
It was all these things in one. And I'm why don't we do that kind of shit anymore?
I know the innovation back then was really
it's for it all to be all in one. I honestly can't believe that there's nothing like that anymore.
I know. It was pretty awesome. I will say,
let's make one.
Oh, let's make a weird metal bread basket, and then we're gonna go to Australia
we'll go
to
somewhere.
see. Yeah, we're gonna go to all the places.
We're gonna do and see everything
after we make our bread basket box.
It's gonna make us millions.
Oh my God! All right, back to my story because I'm sorry. Hey, look, do your thing, girl. That's what we're here for. Just interrupt me and have fun. Well, for example, one room is themed to be a medical office. Another is a typical Victorian parlor. Other rooms are designed to fit a certain collection of items, such as the Brooksville History Room or the Telephone and Communications Room. The items inside the home are just of all kinds of different periods.
Telephone and Communications Room was pretty cool.
Oh, it's pretty awesome. Over the home's history, rumors began to circulate around the strange occurrences within the Stringer house. Marina, Jesse, who were the wife and daughter, were buried on the property, or so it's been said, as were John May, which we couldn't find, and Marina and John's infant son, who had died just mere 5 weeks after birth.
But we were looking for the Stringers.
I know. I don't think that we...
I wasn't specifically... We're going back. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because, we didn't actually look for the Mays, I don't feel.
No. We were looking for the wrong people.
I mean, I did take a picture of that little grave area. I wonder if I zoom in if we could see. Anyway.
We'll be posting that.
Yeah, I'm getting off track all day. My
looking.
Well, it's not really off track. I'm just interrupting you.
And hey, look. Again, I give you Fine's permission to do so.
Okay, thank you.
The family's burial sites fuel many rumors about the infamous May Stringer house's hauntings. It is known as one of the most haunted houses in Florida, as previously mentioned. Whispered of disembodied voices, the sound of footsteps where no one could actually have been making them, an eerie sensation of just being watched just permeate the air, so has been said. Some have claimed to even seen the apparition. I never say that right, but you know what? We're going with it. A May Stringer herself.
Apparition, but it's okay.
Her ghostly figure gliding throughout the rooms, her eyes filled with sorrow and longing.
Imagine seeing an apparition of a ghostly woman with her... I don't know, that made me... Her eyes of long... I don't know. That's
or what if you're standing
something about
there?
That creeped me out. I don't want to see anyone's eyes, the apparition's eyes.
What if we were doing our tour and all of a sudden we look to our right and some bitch is popping through the fucking fireplace and she's just going, crying? Like, what would we have done then? Because it could have happened.
I probably would have ran out. Would you have stayed there to look?
No, but many brave souls visiting the Whispering Room, which I believe is the room that we're speaking of. Again, we need to go back and get that clarified.
We do.
Many brave souls visit there, only be met with a overwhelming sense of dread and to be feeling like they're being watched by something somewhere. It is said that the entire family's presence haunt the house as well. Jessie is known to make herself often visible in Apparition Farm. The May Stringer house has been investigated on numerous occasions by various paranormal investigators. The recurring comment made is that Jessie's room holds the most activity.
So basically a little toddler ghost. She was 3, so 3.
Yes.
A 3-year-old ghost.
Which we actually spent, I think, more time in that room.
We did.
Than any other part of the house.
Well, because that one lady was talking to us a lot in there.
Yes. Yeah, she was very chatty. She was very informative.
She really was.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah,
Loved
she was
her.
great.
Tammy. Now, this is another one. I wasn't looking for Tammy. Did you remember meeting a Tammy?
I don't know specifically if I met a Tammy or not.
I wasn't looking for names either.
I will say there was that one lady in the room with the stove.
Yes. Was her name Tammy?
I don't know what her name was, but I loved her.
Oh, she was great.
Older woman.
She dressed up like she had lived there.
She did. Older woman, but she was very striking. I think she was beautiful.
She was beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway.
You did mention that as soon as we left.
I did.
I bet she was amazing.
I bet she was
drop dead gorgeous.
Knockout.
Yeah.
She was
fantastic. We're going to call her Tammy.
Let's just say it's Tammy.
She's
I
Tammy.
like it.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of the property tour guides, Tammy, who has been actively touring the property for 9 years, had said this of her own haunting experience. There was one day where I was setting up for a ghost tour and I was with my partner Autumn and I thought that she had gone upstairs to turn the lights on until I turn and see her up in the gift shop. Excuse me, not up in the gift shop, just in the gift shop. I screwed that up. In the back of the house. I asked, "Did you not just go up the stairs?" Tammy described. She said, "No, I've been here the whole time." Then we started hearing noises on the staircase.
Cool.
Yeah. Another experience Tammy shares is it was common for doctors to run businesses out of their homes. In those days, you didn't go to the doctor for a checkup. The common cold was probably serious back then. While we are not sure what exactly went on in his office, Tammy says amputations and all kinds of surgeries could have taken place in this home. Which also means death could have been taking place in this home.
Well, and I'm sure it did.
Absolutely.
Especially if surgeries were performed.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly, you don't have 100% success rate. And in those times, you definitely don't. So.
No, but I think we noted this in the last episode when we kind of talked about it. The incubation box for the babies.
That was so...
weird.
It was, but it was fascinating.
It was fascinating.
I will say, it's crazy to think of. I mean, like, I had a baby that actually had to be in an incubator. So
it could have been in one of those.
You know, but like the difference between that one and then like the one that Bryce was in is just, it's amazing. Just like the advances that are made. Because that like looked just like I don't even know how that incubated a baby.
It looked like a bread box.
It just.
It kind of did though.
Yeah.
It was very small.
We have a picture of it.
We do. So you'll be getting that sneak peek there. So also, I want to note that the second floor of the home hosts the children's room, along with a bedroom shared by Dr. Stringer and his wife. It's also the room where some spirits supposedly hang out. There is another spirit that likes to hang out there, and they call him James. He was a World War I soldier. He was a guest who was staying with the family for a while, and as the story goes, he was heartbroken because his fiancée had married somebody else, Tammy had said. Tammy also describes that James as being a playful and protective spirit. He also tends to gravitate toward younger women, possibly because of losing his young fiancée.
So he won't come to me, I'm old.
I mean, maybe. But you've also disgustingly been told that you were like 21 or shit. So, maybe he'll think that you're young and want to hit on you. Be honored that this ghost might want you. Okay, thank you. We have a couple of girls that don't like to go in certain areas of the house because it makes them uncomfortable, and they'll actually ask James to walk with them, Tammy described.
Oh, chivalrous.
I know. What a nice guy. Tammy also has had a few personal experiences with James. I was just sitting there telling him, thank you. I love being here. I love the house. Thank you for letting us in your home. And it took me a few weeks to actually go back and listen to the recording because I was still kind of skeptical at the time. About halfway through, you could hear his deep sigh like someone had taken a deep breath. You could tell it wasn't me because when I'm talking, the phone was far enough that you couldn't hear my breath that loud. Somebody was saying something, but you couldn't tell what it was, Tammy explained.
Ooh,
I know. Tammy also noted that one of the most haunted locations in the house is the attic. Tammy says it is where many paranormal investigators love to hang out. We believe this very possibly could have been the servant quarters during the Stringer years, or even during the Renner years as a playroom or the kids' room, Tammy said. It is also home for many spirits like Gary, who is attached to a trunk inside the room. He is also nicknamed Mr. Nasty for his colorful language. He's very moody, sarcastic. He's a prankster, and some people want to be afraid of him, but I don't believe he's a demonic spirit, Tammy explained.
Mr. Nasty.
Mr. Nasty. There are reports from many ghost hunters of witnessing Miranda May herself walking around, and some of the hunters have reported hearing Miranda and Frank's daughter Jessie cry out for help from her parents. Other ghosts, they believe, are linked to the story of the plantation life there in Florida.
If I go there and I hear a little baby crying, I'm like,
Mother.
I'm gonna be
What? Well, bitch, get off my shit. As the years went by, the Stringer house became a magnet for curious thrill seekers and paranormal investigators. Team of experts armed with the latest equipment descended upon the mansion, determined to unravel the mysteries that plagued its hollowed halls. Their findings were inconclusive, leaving more questions than answers, further fueling the allure of the haunted house. One fateful night, a group of audacious, is that right? Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Ghost hunters embarked on an expedition into the depths of the Stringer house. Armed with cameras, EMF detectors, and a thirst for the unexplained, they sought to capture evidence of the restless spirits said to reside within. As they ventured deep into the house, the air grew heavy with the oppressive sense of foreboding. Shadows danced ominously through the walls, and a chill ran down their spines as they felt the presence of something unseen lurking just beyond their perception. In the whispering room, the paranormal activity reached its peak. The EMF detectors crackled and surged. The air became thick with an eerie energy. Suddenly, the room erupted in a... Ooh, you want to try that one?
Cacophony.
Thank you. Of disembodied voices, their whisper... I know, it's a hard one. Their whispers growing louder and more insistent. The ghost hunters, overwhelmed by the intensity of the paranormal encounter, fled the room in terror.
I actually know that word, but I don't remember it.
It's going to bother you all day, isn't it?
It really is, anyway.
The haunting of the Maystringer house continues to captivate the imaginations of those who dare to explore the realm of the supernatural. Whether the spirits that reside within are seeking solace, justice, or simply a connection with the living remains a mystery. The house stands as a silent centennial, bearing witness to the passage of the time, its secrets forever entwined with the whispers of the restless dead. Today, the Maystringer house stands as a museum open to the public. As previously stated, visitors can step inside and admire the stunning architecture, period finishings, and furnishings, and all artifacts that will tell you the story of the Stringer family and their contributions to Brooksville's 3. I don't know why I couldn't get that one out. That was hard. The house has become a beloved landmark, a symbol of the city's heritage and resilience. Over the years, the Maystringer house was witnessed countless events, from joyous celebrations to moments of sorrow. Mm-hmm. It has stood steadfast through the storms and economic downturns, a constant reminder of enduring spirits of the human race. Its story is a testament to the power of love, family, and the importance of preserving our culture's heritage. As the sun sets over Brooksville, casting a warm glow on the Maystringer house, one can't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder. The grand old mansion has stood the test of time, bearing witness to a string of melancholy events and a century of Florida's history. It is a reminder that even amid change, some things remain constant. The love of family, the importance of the community, and the enduring beauty of our architectural heritage. Just make sure that you thank Dr. Stringer for saving your limbs on the way through the door of our timeless treasure.
Oh, yeah.
This is the story of the Maystringer house. Thank you.
I loved hearing the history.
I know.
Show.
We didn't get all of that on our tour.
No.
Which I think was great that I was able to give that to you.
Love.
Love, love, love. What you got for me? And this has been such a huge secret. You've not told me. I've been trying to get it out of you since last night, even before since last week. Tell me, what are we doing?
Well, we're going to learn today about Gerard Schaefer, who fucking sucks.
I'm sure he does.
And let's get into the fuckery.
Tell me about how he fucking sucks.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
Gerard John Schaefer Jr. was a convicted necrophilic double murderer, abductor, and suspected serial killer, pedophile, and cannibal.
Does he know Albert Fish? Wow.
I mean, he might.
Disgusting.
Actually, he was born after Albert Fish died. But
maybe he was inspired by that disgusting bastard.
Like a reincarnation.
A copycat, yeah.
Schaefer was born on March 25th, 1946 in Wisconsin and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. He was the eldest of 3 children and did not get along with his father, who was a drinker and a womanizer.
Baby, you're a womanizer. Oh, you know that song?
Oh, hey, Brittany.
Oh, okay.
Of course I know that song. Please. Gerard believed that both his parents, Gerard Sr. and Doris, favored his sister over him. He later described himself as the illegitimate product of a forced marriage.
Oh.
He was the eldest, so he was basically born out of wedlock, and his parents were forced to get married, and he felt some kind of way his whole life about it. So
you are a Jon Snow bastard.
Like, calm down, you know?
Seriously. You'll be a king one day.
The Schaefers moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yeah.
You know, I was getting there.
Yeah, you were.
And joined the local yachting and country clubs because they were bougie.
Oh.
They did later divorce.
Good for them.
You know. Gerard proved to be a very disturbed individual when he was young. He would steal women's underwear, fantasize about dying, and even tie himself to trees because it aroused him sexually.
Gross.
He admitted later in life that he also killed animals, like while hunting in the Everglades and shooting that couldn't be consumed. So he was just hunting,
killing to kill.
Hunting for sport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And cross-dressed.
Oh.
Though he claimed that he did the latter in order to not be drafted into the Vietnam War.
Wait, what? So he would cross-dress while killing animals?
No, that's just another thing that he did.
I was like, man, what a product of illegitimacy.
I know, could you imagine? Oh, that'd be something.
Yeah.
He met his girlfriend Cindy when he was 14, and the two were in a relationship for 3 years in spite of their unorthodox sex life.
Okay.
Gerard would make her take part in role-play fantasies in which he tore off her clothes and, quote, raped her.
Oh.
It's great.
Okay.
In 1963, she broke up with him.
Yeah, probably was sick of getting quote.
Yeah, it's gross. Mm-hmm. Schaefer would later boast in writing that he started killing in 1965 at the age of 19, though he then denied this publicly.
Oh, gross.
In 1967, Gerard earned an associate degree in business administration and on January 1968 enrolled in the Florida Atlantic University to get his teacher's license. After doing so, he briefly held down a teaching job at Plantation High School, but he was fired after only a few weeks because of, in the principal's words, totally inappropriate behavior.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. He also tried to become a Catholic priest, but was rejected.
Wow, even for the Catholics, they were like, right? Nope.
He married in 1968, but divorced after 2 years, his wife citing cruelty as the reason.
Oh, man.
He's a great man. You know, he's great.
I do want to clarify. I don't mean that anything is wrong with Catholics. I have many Catholic families.
Right,
I just want to make sure that people don't take that the wrong way.
Correct.
I love Catholics. You can believe whatever you want to believe. It is just not my religion for me. Thank you. That's all. Okay. I mean, just want to make that clear.
Some of us worship Beyonce. I mean, it's, you know.
Like me.
Yeah.
And you.
In 1971, he got married again, this time to Teresa Dean, a secretary he met while working as a security guard. Schaefer eventually set his mind on becoming a police officer, and he did get a job as such, in spite of the fact that he failed his psychological test when he applied. Like, I want to know what police force was like, you know what, you failed this test, but you know what, we're just gonna give you a gun and a badge anyway. Who cares?
And not like a physical obstacle course test, like a psychological test.
Yeah, I mean, anyway. Yeah. Well, he was soon fired for using personal information about female traffic offenders to ask them out for dates.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. He then moved to Martin County and got another law enforcement job, eventually becoming a deputy sheriff.
Oh, God.
So, what the Florida?
What the fucking Florida, man. Never fails.
I know. On July 21st, 1972, Schaefer pulled off his first known murder attempt. Using his authority as a police officer, he convinced hitchhikers Pamela Wells and Nancy Trotter that hitchhiking was illegal in the county, which it was not. He drove them to a halfway house at which they lived and promised to drive them to the beach the next day. When they were in his car, he drove them into the swamp and tied them to a tree at gunpoint.
Oh, fuck.
Just afterwards, he got a call on his police radio and had to leave them in their position. While he was gone, thank God, the girls managed to break free.
Yes, thank Beyonce.
Oh. Amen. And run to the nearest police station, which ironically turned out to be the station at which Schaefer worked.
Oh.
So this
all right.
is not great for him.
Full circle.
When Schaefer returned to the tree and found them gone, he called his boss, Sheriff Crowder, and said, "I've done something foolish. You're going to be mad at me." Just a
touch. Yeah.
When Crowder found out about what his deputy had done, he promptly fired Schaefer and arrested him for unlawful imprisonment and aggravated assault.
Mm-hmm.
He made a plea bargain and was sentenced to a year in prison with the possibility of being released after 6 months.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Now, 2 months after posting bail, he had abducted 2 more female hitchhikers, Susan Place and Georgia Jessup, killed them in the same way that he had intended to kill Wells and Trotter.
Fucker. And
buried their bodies. When the remains were found, Schaefer was in prison. So he had done this like before he got
right. Before he goes caught. Yeah.
The similarities between their murder and Schaefer's attempted murder were enough to secure a warrant for his mother's house, where he and his wife lived.
Oh.
Inside, they found, as well as a number of graphic, disturbing short stories about murder written by Schaefer, some that he had written in jail, and a total of 11 guns and 13 knives, a mountain of evidence implicating Schaefer in the disappearances of over 30 women in the area over the years, such as jewelry, clothing, diaries, a driver's license, a passport, and some teeth.
What? Oh, whoa. Dentist of death. Oh, yeah. Shit.
Now, he had half-baked explanations for all of it, such as having found the items, being given them as gifts, or having bought them elsewhere. Like, bro, get
shut the fuck up.
Honestly.
Seriously.
He claimed that the teeth had been planted by an ex-roommate.
Oh, is that right? Who,
according to Schaefer, privately confessed to the murder. The roommate in question was interviewed by police and cleared as a suspect. So, it was you, bruh.
Wow.
Now, in spite of the massive amount of evidence against Schaefer, he was only tried for the murders of Place and Jessup. Because I guess that's really the only, like, real evidence that they felt they could get a conviction on.
Which, I mean, it sucks because, yes, they're going to get convicted. Well, at least we hope so. I don't know the end of the story yet. Right. But then we've also got I don't know.
It stinks because it's just like there's not a... I mean, yeah, like, okay, say he goes to jail forever, and that's great, but for the family, it doesn't provide like that final closure of like the man who did this to your loved one. You know
what I mean? Yeah. Technically, their loved one's murder case is open because the police just weren't able to make it happen.
I know, I hate that.
It just sucks. And yes, the outcome is still the same, but the result isn't.
Yeah.
And, they deserve the justice.
I agree. But we will talk. Well, I mean, I'll be speaking about them.
Okay,
so,
awesome.
Because he was sentenced to life in prison for the crime, no other charges were pursued since it was enough to keep him away from the public. Now, his wife only visited him once to serve divorce papers. Thank her for that, because that's great. I'm not going to get into that now. Anyway. Though he was under close watch, Schaefer still managed to run a mail fraud scheme from his cell, having associates post ads in sex magazines and sending letters to people who replied, always using a female pseudonym.
Oh.
So he's being disgusting even in jail.
Ugh.
In some correspondence, he pretended to be a 14-year-old girl who offered to send paying customers nude photos of herself.
Ugh.
He also enjoyed sending convicts and other prisons letters, pretending to be a woman pursuing romantic relationships with them, and acted as a jailhouse lawyer, using the information he gained from convicts to sell them out to authorities, even getting a murderer sent to death row.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, though Schaefer understandably was not a well-liked man in prison, he did befriend fellow serial killers Ted Bundy and Otis Toole, and discussed counter-forensic techniques with the former. So could you imagine, him and Ted Bundy were just
in cahoots?
Shooting the shit. Gross.
It's disgusting.
He kept denying to have committed murder. One of the explanations for his conviction was that he had been framed by local drug lords for killing 2 narcotics informants. And filed a total of 19 appeals, all of which were turned down.
How do you even get that many options? 19?
That's crazy. It's just feels like a bunch of money wasted and,
scarier
resources.
Is that 19 times people thought we might want to talk about letting him out.
Yeah.
That's what's terrifying to me.
I hate it. Now, though he privately bragged about killing a lot of women, he pursued countless frivolous lawsuits against people who had publicly called him a serial killer, such as many true crime authors.
What?
He also sued FBI veteran Robert Ressler for writing about his case and discussing it during lectures. He even once sued a writer for describing him as overweight.
Do we know if he ever got anything from this stuff?
I don't think so. I think he's just it says the frivolous lawsuit. So basically that just means it was bullshit.
Good.
Yeah. Now, one of Schaefer's biggest hobbies behind bars was writing more macabre stories, some of which were suspected of being real accounts of murders he had committed, and others were grisly fantasies.
Disgusting.
In one story simply titled Whores, he recounts hanging a prostitute and having sex with her corpse. In another titled Spring Break, he recounts...
Ooh, yeah.
recounts...
Yeah, you did.
Fatally stabbing and disemboweling a co-ed during sex. A series of stories was about a rogue cop who moonlights as a serial killer targeting prostitutes. Schaefer was approached by Sandra London, who was his girlfriend in high school and later became a true crime author. In 1989, she got his stories published under the title Killer Fiction, which failed commercially, but maintains a cult following to this day.
Oh.
She and Schaefer were briefly engaged in 1991, but she broke it off, leaving him for another serial killer, Danny Rolling, a.k.a. the Gainesville Ripper. Now I'm going to go back because why do women have this fascination? Not all women, obviously, but why do some of these women have a fascination with serial killers? It's so fucking weird. I will never understand it.
I know that we're not on video, so nobody can see my face, but it's pretty...
Your mouth is open. You're like, what? Yeah.
I just can't... to your point, there's many people, and there's many fish in the sea. There's many people out there. What the fuck is wrong with you to where you need to stay with a serial killer? Even, I'm sorry.
But then you leave him for another serial killer?
Right. And then you have the option to go, maybe this isn't the best life choice.
It's something.
Oh, wait, it is. I actually need another one in my life.
Yeah.
What a dumb fucking bitch.
So I'm just going to go, I mean, you know what? I'm just going to go out and say it. Sandra London is
probably a serial killer.
Like a fucking psycho. So anyway, she's a psycho.
Yeah.
On December 3rd, 1995, Schaefer was found dead in his cell, stabbed 42 times and his throat slashed. The perpetrator... The perpetrator, actually, which is the real word, was Vincent Rivera, a fellow inmate who was serving time for double murder. Sandra London later said Rivera had killed him in an argument about a cup of coffee, though it has also been suggested that it was because Schaefer owed some inmates money or because he would inform on them, which it probably was. I would say it's that, you know. In 1997, Killer Fiction was published again, this time with an additional text by London about her experiences with Schaefer and drawings of some hanged undressed women made by Schaefer.
Oh.
I'm gonna pass on that book, by the way. I'm not gonna give that one any.
That's disgusting. That's like my word of the episode, I think, is disgusting. Yeah. It just very well describes most of this.
So I'm just gonna now go, we're gonna talk about the victims. Okay. As I do.
Yeah.
So his known victims confirmed in 1972 were Pamela Wells and Nancy Trotter. Attempted, tied both to a tree, but they escaped. So Pamela was 18, Nancy was 17.
Okay.
Now, on September 27th, this one, unfortunately, the murder of Susan Place, 17, and George Jessup, who was 16.
Okay.
So that's the ones that he got convicted for. Now, possible. Most of the following victims were never found, but their possessions were found in Schaefer's mother's house. So we can assume that.
Yeah.
The dates denote the date of their disappearance.
Okay.
So October 2nd, 1966, Nancy Leitner, 21, Pamela Nader, 20. September 8th, 1969, Lee Bonadies Hainline, 25. Mm-hmm. December 18th, 1969, Carmen Marie Halleck, age 22. December 29th, 1970, Peggy Ron, age 9, and Wendy Stevenson, age 8. That one really bothers me the worst.
Oh.
January 5th, 1972, Belinda Hutchins, age 22. February 29th, 1972, Deborah Sue Lowe, age 13. October 23rd, 1972, Elsie Farmer, age 14, and Mary Briscolina, also age 14. And then January 8th, 1973, Barbara Ann Wilcox, age 19, and Colette Marie Goodenough?
Oh.
Age 19. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how it's
definitely spelled that way.
And yeah, that is the disgusting story of Gerard John Schaefer. He fucking sucks.
Oh, so much. Wow.
So
they all suck. Somehow you find the suckiest ones, which I think is the point. So great job. Nailed it.
It is. But yeah, I hate this man.
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm glad that Vincent Rivera stabbed his ass. So
please stab more. If you use the ghost, keep stabbing.
I mean, play Karma by Taylor Swift.
Of course. Oh my God, you're crazy. All right, my sources for my story on the Maystringer House are WTSP.com's article, Wikipedia's article, TampaHistorical.org, and Tampa Bay's article, which are all referencing the Maystringer House.
And my story on Gerard Schaefer's sources I got from CriminalMindsFandom.com. And I did listen to the Morbid podcast that they covered on Gerard Schaefer. And again, he sucks.
He does suck. All right, we're at the end of our season finale episode.
Season finale.
10 episodes.
I'm singing a lot.
You are singing. I am too, though. I'm popping in some lyrics here and there.
I love it.
Me too, thank you. But, I do want to I know we kind of touched on some reflections earlier, but what was your favorite episode that I did?
I love them all.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with the Queen Mary.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want to go there so fucking bad.
Dude, it would be so cool.
The whole story was just, it's Queen Mary. Queen Mary for me.
Queen Mary, thank you.
Let's go.
Oh, well, I guess, my favorite for you then would be the Port Arthur Massacre. That one really got me. And mainly because of where we're at as a society, as far as guns and what we believe in and how we're handling it and the amount of deaths that are happening.
Thoughts and prayers.
I'm just, it's really got me thinking of how do I live without feeling scared? And I'm trying to do that a lot more lately, but it's hard. I think that the news and society as a whole has really caused a lot of anxiety between a lot of people.
I would also just like to encourage people to vote. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna...
if you don't like something, absolutely change it. And this is the time. So, we have to make sure we're doing right by humanity. And that's, I think, number one. So make sure you're doing that. But I also want to, just say thank you for everyone that has been listening.
Yeah. We love you so much. You've been on this journey with us. We've gotten great feedback.
And keep it coming.
It's great. I just love it.
Yes.
On our little break, we will be continuing our guest episodes.
Yes, we are.
So we do have like a couple of those scheduled. So you can still get your humor, haunts, and homicide fix.
Anytime you want. And if you want, you can go back and stream it. We're not going to be mad at that. Go through and do your binging. I'm a binger. You're a binger. We're all bingers. Whatever it is, we're there.
Everybody's a binger.
Everybody's a binger. But no, seriously, we've enjoyed every piece of this. We're going to continue doing it because we love it so much. And we've really grown, and you have all helped us do that.
We have some new things coming up that we're going to be implementing for season 2. So if you want to start off with, the only way we can grow is by changing things, keeping it fresh for you, and taking your advice that we've got from all of our listeners. And we're going to start this thing called What We Like is, I can't say it with it's called the Bitch Pack.
The Bitch Pack. Like your pack of wolves, your pack of people. That's us, and you're our bitches, and we're a pack of bitches.
So basically, it's like going to be kind of like our fan club, or it's going to be called the Bitch Pack.
Bitch Pack.
And we have some things in the works. We haven't nailed things down like completely yet, but there's going to be prizes that you get from joining our Bitch Pack, like
maybe little boxes,
like things? Tangible prizes. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm making friendship bracelets.
Oh shit! You dropped it.
I'm making friendship bracelets.
You're telling everybody.
So, and that's not gonna be all. That's just gonna be one little thing.
One little thing.
We're also gonna be videoing ourselves more often. So like,
we don't like looking at ourselves or even hearing ourselves that often. But you know what? It's known that people like video and they want to see and feel a little more connected to you.
We're also, I'm not to kind of be like conceited, but we're hot. So, I mean, people want to see us. I'm just saying.
Well, maybe. I don't feel that way about myself. I'm glad you are confident. I'm just thinking
you're gauges.
Gauges. Thank you. That doesn't come easy from you. So thank you. Wow, that was great.
You're welcome. I just made that word up.
Wow, I'm going to use that forever and ever and ever now.
Another change that we're going to make is we're going to start releasing our episodes on Tuesdays.
Statistics say that you guys like episodes on Tuesdays.
Well, and then that way it's like you get the beginning of your week, So we're going to do that. And then if we have guest episodes kind of like sprinkled in, we'll be doing those on Fridays.
I figure it just splits up the week. So you get a little bit in the beginning and then you get a little bit at the end.
Yeah. So that'll be great.
Absolutely. And then we're not going to be doing any more trailers. We just, people are not really listening to them. And when you're binging, like most people do, it just kind of goes right before the episode. And it seems a little awkward.
Yeah, it's a little much.
And we understand that. So we're going to tone it down and do less for you, even though we thought we were doing right by you. So thank you for the feedback there. And then, what to expect. What do you think my premiere story is going to be?
I don't know. What is it going to be?
I don't know. Well, let me just tell you, since you're not really wanting to guess. I get that. There's a lot of options out there.
How am I going to just guess?
I was trying to do things that were a little more under the radar, but I think people like stories that they know as well.
Yeah.
So for season 2, we're going to try to dabble a little more into things that we already know. So let's talk about the Stanley Hotel. For season 1.
Oh, yeah, The Shining.
Sorry, season 2, episode 1.
We know what we're talking about.
We know.
We got you.
Thank you. What are you doing? You're gonna keep it a lockdown, aren't you?
No, I'm actually. I'm surprising you. I'm actually going to tell you what you have to look forward to.
Whoa.
So, some of you may know I have a daughter who is she's actually going to be 13 tomorrow. I've cried a lot about it.
But, she did. She's not lying.
She's been requesting this story. And I decided to go with it. I'm going to do the Gypsy Rose Blanchard story.
Oh, very current. Love it.
Yes.
That's a fucked up story.
It really is. So I'm pretty excited to kind of do I've read things, I've watched things, I've listened to podcasts, but I'm excited to really dive right in, So
another change I think we should implement, and this is another cold talk right here. I haven't even talked to you about this yet, but maybe we even change it up where you know, instead of me starting first all of next season and doing the hauntings, I might even surprise you with true crime. Oh. And maybe you could surprise me with hauntings here and there.
You know, we just told you before, we like to keep it fun and fresh.
Keep it fun and fresh.
Fun and fresh.
2 Fs. Because why else? Well, you don't need 3 Fs.
Well, you do because you need fuck, 3? Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess we need 3 Fs.
It's our favorite F word, let's be honest.
Let's do it. Let's keep it fun, fresh, and fucky? Is that a thing? I guess it is.
We're making it one because it's our podcast. Remember, we do what we want.
We do what we want. It's our life.
But you know what, though?
What?
It's really important that you understand.
Oh my gosh, tell me, please. I need to understand it.
That mystery doesn't sleep.
You know what? I need you to understand that neither do we. Bye, bitch.
Humor, haunts, and homicide.